Big Polly's World of Sports Sims presents the Hometown Football League using Action PC Football 2020. We welcome you to the latest installment of the Hometown Football League. This is Big Polly coming to you, and today we wrap up week number 5. He says, Pittsburgh and Green Bay. Took me a little bit to find the little play week 5 area here of Action PC Football 2020, the simulator we use, using the Pro Football Historical set. Green Bay a 1-point favorite, Pittsburgh coming in 2-2, Green Bay coming in 3-1. We're going, since it's a Monday night game, we're going to make it 10 degrees cooler, 55 degrees, a little bit of a balmy night for October at Lambeau Field. Pittsburgh will be run by the computer. I will run Green Bay as the home team, as I traditionally do. Green Bay, as I was saying, a 1-point favorite. They won the toss. They will receive to start the game. Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers will be your quarterbacks. Chuck Noll and Vince Lombardi. Boy, talk about a couple of legends. They will be roaming the sidelines for their respective teams. Green Bay in the green. What else color would they be? And Pittsburgh in white. Odom, Adderley, and Canadeo back deep for Green Bay. And we'll get this game started. And it looked like it was taken by Odom. And he runs it back 38 yards to the 44. Your starters for the Green Bay offense and the Pittsburgh defense follow. Taylor and Anderson at running back, Hudson at sharp at wideout, Houghton at tight end, Rodgers at quarterback, Gregg, Kramer, Ringo, Gillingham, and Bakhtian, I'm going to guess, is going to be your offensive line. Greenwood and Hayward will be your defensive ends for Pittsburgh. Green and Hampton, your defensive tackles. Ham, Lambert, Porter, your linebackers. Woodson and Blunt, Polamalu and Shell, your defensive backs. And on 1st and 10, we're going to run the old power sweep to Jim Taylor. Get the game started. Green Bay known for that power sweep back in the 60s. But Hampton gets to Taylor for a 2-yard loss. And that sets up 2nd and 12 at the 42. Crowd already going into the Go Pack Go chant between plays with a little bluesy music interspersed between. We're going to go to Hudson on the medium out. Hudson will also play cornerback, as you'll see later. And Rodgers scrambles close to the first down. He gains 11 of the 12 yards needed, and it'll be 3rd and a yard. Taylor, dive play. Pittsburgh showing blitz. That defense, of course, you would blitz, but Taylor breaks free over the middle. Thought for a minute he might go all the way, but he is brought down by Hayward after a 31-yard gain. Nicely done. Sterling Sharp, medium hitch on 1st and 10 from the 16. And that's a touchdown. Sterling Sharp, his brother Shannon's tight end for Denver, who we just saw yesterday in that 40-34 shootout. Shutout. What was I thinking? Extra point try is good by Longwell, and it's 7-0 Green Bay, and we have just started this game 2 minutes and 41 seconds of playing time ago. Woodson, Chanois, and Dudley back deep for Pittsburgh, and that will be a touchback. There is a bit of a wind. Pittsburgh will be going into the teeth of the wind to start the game. The wind no more than 10 miles an hour. Roethlisberger, your quarterback, as we mentioned before. Bettis and Johnson will be your running backs. Brown and Ward, your wideouts. Miller at tight end. Kolb, Fenica, Webster, DeCastro, and Jackson, your offensive line. For Green Bay, Davis and Campman, your defensive ends. Hanner and Ray, your defensive tackles. Matthews, Nitschke, Robinson, your linebackers. Adderley and Hudson, there's that name again, at corner. Dillon and Wood at safety. 1st and 10, ball to 20. The give is to Johnson, who picks up 5, and Ray Nitschke introduces himself, number 66. He's playing middle linebacker. 2nd and 5, ball to 25, I should say. Roethlisberger was looking for Brown over the middle, but that's incomplete. And Pittsburgh wasting no time bringing John Stallworth in the game as a third wide receiver. You'll see him up here, number 82 on the top of your screen, set with Antonio Brown, who might wind up playing for the Buccaneers this year in the 2020 season. 3rd and 5 at the 25. It's Roethlisberger throwing, and it's incomplete, looking for Miller. So Green Bay will get it back on the punt. And we'll go over the particulars in just a moment. It was Orr punting the ball to Wood, and a fair catch after a punt of 39, so Green Bay gets it back at their own 36. We're going to go long fly to Hudson on 1st and 10. And this does not look like a good play at all. Picked off. And that is by Woodson. Rod Woodson. A return of 31 yards to the Green Bay 10. His first pick of the year. 1st and goal. Pittsburgh. Looking to turn the game around. It's Johnson. Johnson, no game. Robinson on the stop for Green Bay. 2nd and goal. Ball to 10. Another incompletion by Roethlisberger. Looking for Miller again, and Big Ben has started 0 for 3. 3rd and goal. Ball to 10. We have a marker down. We'll check that.
Encroachment defense. Number 74, 5-yard penalty.
Oh, good old encroachment. That's Campman, and that moves the ball half the distance to the Green Bay goal at the 5. 3rd and goal from there. And Roethlisberger returns the favor of Green Bay, and Bobby Dillon with a pick in the end zone. So we've had 2 interceptions, and we've only played 4:59 into this game. So it could be one of those games. So each team with a turnover very early. We'll go to Taylor, trap right. And Taylor gets a couple before Joey Porter could get to him. And now you got a 2nd and 8. Taylor will try to take advantage of the opened up running lanes with this 3-wide set and go off tackle right. And that's a gain of nothing. Hampton makes the stop for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 8. We'll go medium pass. Hudson would be the target that I think Pittsburgh would try to pick out. So we'll go to Sterling Sharp, who has the touchdown already. Incomplete. Sharp was in the neighborhood, but Rodgers was just throwing that ball away to avoid a rush. 4th and 8. We have Donnie Anderson back to punt. And the punt, not all that great considering he had a wind advantage. 42 yards. Fair caught by Woodston at the 36. 8:25 left. Opening quarter. It's 7-0 Green Bay. 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Roethlisberger. He's got his first completion of the day now to Antonio Brown. A long slant, and that gained 23. 4 incompletions prior to that by Roethlisberger. 1st and 10. The ball at the 41. This is to Bettis, and Bettis, that was his first carry of the day, but it goes for nothing. Dillon on the tackle. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 41, still. And that was Bettis, picking up 7. Matthews makes the tackle. 3rd and 3, ball at the 34 now. Your throw over the middle, and that's to Stallworth, and he gains 17 yards. 1st down Pittsburgh at the Green Bay 17. And a touchdown, that to Miller, the tight end. Roethlisberger to Miller for 17 yards. And a very quick drive by Pittsburgh, 5 plays, 64 yards, and 3:10 off the clock. Here's your point after try to tie it. That's by Anderson, and it's good.
Defense, 15-yard penalty.
And they get Campman for roughing up a face mask of one of those linemen for Pittsburgh on the extra point. So you're going to see another one of these awkward-looking animations as Pittsburgh kicks from the 50. Watch for an onside, and of course that ball's going to go into the end zone for a touchback if you only have to kick it 50 yards. I always say, why don't you ever try an onside if you have to kick from the 50? You might get the ball back at the 40-yard line or thereabouts, and it's no guarantee that if the other team gets the ball back, they can go 60 yards for a score. Well, anyway, sweep right, Jim Taylor on 1st and 10. 7-7 tie now. Taylor turns the corner and makes nice yardage, 8 yards before Hayward gets to him. And it's 2nd and 2. Anderson, who we just saw punting, will get the ball on a dive. And did he get the first? No, just short. Looked like he had it. Mean Joe Green on the tackle for Pittsburgh. Rodgers will sneak on 3rd and inches. That's going to be close, but he gets the first down. Jack Lambert, probably with a few choice words after watching a quarterback get a first down with a sneak. Jack Lambert wasn't one of those guys you wanted to tick off, that's for sure. 1st and 10, ball at the 31. It's going to be a sweep left to Jim Taylor in the double tight end set. That's a gain of 5 yards as Green Bay tries to play smash mouth football. Houghton and Kaufman are the tight ends in the game for Green Bay, if you were wondering. And maybe you weren't. 2nd and 5, the ball at the 36. Anderson off tackle right, but Pittsburgh is showing blitz, so we're going to go medium slant to Hudson. Incomplete.
Encroachment defense. Number 98, 5-yard penalty.
But the encroachment will give Green Bay a first down. Back to the old power sweep. Jim Taylor, heavy blitz. So we'll screen it to Anderson. Green Bay picks up the blitz, and Anderson with a lot of running room. Gain of 17. Mel Blount on the tackle at the 42. So it's now 1st and 10 at the 42. Green Bay is going to stay in that formation, that double tight end set, and they will again try to sweep it right. And again, Pittsburgh comes with a blitz, so they'll screen it to Taylor. And we have a timeout called by Pittsburgh. Some confusion on the defense. A little game of chicken has broken out, kind of like the tractor scene in Footloose. And now Taylor's going to be put in a sweep right. And Taylor with yardage all the way inside the 10 to the 7. And a gain of 35. Taylor has 7 carries for 79 yards. Nicely done. We're going to stay with Taylor. Sweep right on 1st and 10. And Taylor's got a touchdown. Jim Taylor. It's 13 to 7. Your point after try is upcoming. It's good. And it's 14-7 with 32 seconds left in the opening quarter. Woodson back for Pittsburgh. And something happened on the kickoff. It was a return of 20 to the 18. He was 2 yards deep in his end zone. Could be the last play of the first quarter coming up. Here we go. 1st and 10 to the 18. Incompletion. So you're stuck with me for a play or two more to end this first quarter. 2nd and 10. That's another incompletion.
Holding. Offense, number 65.
They get Jackson for holding, and it'll be 2nd and 19. Ball to 9. Incomplete.
Offsides, defense, number 44, 5-yard penalty.
They get Baby Ray for defensive offsides. 2nd and 14 at the 14 with 11 seconds to go. A flea flicker play was looking for Miller eventually, but that fell incomplete. So we've played a quarter, and it's 14-7 Green Bay. And I'll tell you that the HTFL will be back on Monday to get Week 6 started. I thought I was able to get up and adjust my fan, but not the case. It's about 6 feet to my left as I record these games. I can get it after the game, not a problem. So we'll get right back to it. 3rd and 14, the ball at the 14 still. We'll be working on some other projects
Holding
this weekend.
Offense, number 66.
By the way, the Castro, that'll be declined. It'll be 4th and 11 from the 17. Gain of 3 on that play as Roethlisberger threw it to Brown. Here's your 4th and 11 play. Or, with the punt, and Wood with a little bit of a run back, 5 yards. And that puts the ball at the Green Bay 44 with 14:49 to go. It's going to be Taylor, trap right. And a nice gain for Jim Taylor.
Encroachment defense.
Which will stand.
Number 97, 5-yard penalty.
With the penalty to Hayward. And it'll be 2nd and 2. This would be a good time for Green Bay to go long. They'll go to Hudson here. Try to keep that Pittsburgh defense honest. Incomplete, deflected by Donnie Shell. And it's going to be 3rd and 2. So I think Pittsburgh knows what's coming, but it's up to Green Bay to execute these plays nicely. Sweep left to Taylor. And that's going to be another first down. But a fumble picked up by Forrest Gregg, who would go on and coach the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 16. And that's a gain of 3, so it's a first down achieved by Green Bay. They have 144 yards of total offense. They have run 18 plays. 13 of them have been runs. Pittsburgh has run 72 plays, 72 yards on 14 plays. 10 of those 14 have been passes. Taylor, pitch right. And a loss of 4 yards. And the Green Bay crowd can't believe it. Hear their protestations that Taylor would lose yards running outside. So they'll try to sweep again. And a much better result for Jim Taylor. Gain of 8, and he goes over 100 yards on the day. And he has done that about 17 minutes into the game almost, 16 minutes and 58 seconds. So that's a nice effort by Jim Taylor, regardless of what happens the rest of the game. He's out of LSU, and last week against Tennessee, he only ran for 52 yards. But I wasn't controlling him. Today I am. Sweep left Taylor on 3rd and 6. They think they could get the first down, even though they need 6 yards, but they only pick up 3. It's going to be 4th and 3 at the 38. Field goal looking a bit iffy here, about a 28% chance of it. 26, I'm being told. So Donnie Anderson's going to punt to the sideline and try to soft shoe Pittsburgh in.
Offsides, defense.
It's going to be offsides.
Penalty.
So that's a first down for Green Bay. They get the first down anyway. Nicely done. Ball to 33. Taylor getting a little worn down, so they are going to bring in Paul Hornung. And he will come in the game and run that power sweep. Sweep to the left. He's wearing number 5. Lindsey Nelson's favorite television commentary partner picks up 6 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 4 at the 27. They will go to Anderson on a dive play. Green Bay wearing this double tight end set down. A fumble on that play recovered by Bakhtiari, and that's a gain of a yard. 3rd and 3. They will go to Hudson on the short cross here. The double tight end set. That's incomplete.
Offsides. Defense.
And the defense offside again.
55, 5-yard penalty.
So Green Bay dominating with the line play, and they are making Pittsburgh make mistakes defensively this way. And back to Hornung on the power sweep, which has been working so well for him. Instead, they're going to go to a screen to him because Pittsburgh is blitzing. Incomplete. Rodgers threw that just a little ahead of the former Heisman Trophy winner out of Notre Dame, Paul Hornung, out of Louisville, Kentucky. 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 21. And they will again try Paul Hornung. Sweep left. And Hornung's got himself a first down, a gain of 12. Anderson dive play on first and goal from the 9. And Anderson gets a couple. Joey Porter on the stop. We'll pitch it right to Paul Horning on second and goal from the 7. Horning's got a touchdown. Paul Horning. Green Bay just grounding and pounding Pittsburgh into paste right now. Here's your point after try by Longwell. It's good. It's 21-7. We have 8:15 left in the opening half. Woodson back deep for Pittsburgh. Touchback. So now Pittsburgh, we have 72 total yards so far on 14 plays. Green Bay has now run 179 yards on 27 plays. 21 of them have been runs, as they have really found their groove with that double tight end set and all those power sweeps. We'll see what Pittsburgh can do to counter here at the 20, a 1st and 10. I'll marker down.
Start. Offense. Number 84, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
They get Brown for a jump, and it's going to be 1st and 15 now from the 15. It's going to be a reverse, and a nice one. It's going to Hines Ward, who picks up 13 yards. So that 1st and 15 becomes a 2nd and 2. Ball to 28. They go to Bettis, and the bus breaks loose. Gets 9 yards. Dillon on the stop. So 1st down, and a new series of downs for Pittsburgh. On this brisk evening in Green Bay. That's to Antonio Brown, who gets 22 yards, and that moves the ball in the Green Bay territory. Ball to 41. 6:33 left. Opening half. Incomplete. Looking for Miller over the middle on the slant, and it'll be 2nd and 10. A sack. Willie Davis ran a long way and corralled Big Ben. It'll be 3rd and 15. Ball to 46 of Green Bay. That's caught, and that went to Ward. Just short of the 1st down, but we have a challenge.
Upon further review, the runner reached the 1st down marker. 1st down. No timeout will be charged.
So there you go. A 1st down for Pittsburgh upon review. And that uses up their only challenge of the game in HTFL play. And I have said this so many times. If I had $1 every time I said it, I'd be a rich man by now. That in HTFL play, all scores and turnovers are looked at by the booth, but anything else can be challenged by either team, and each team gets 1 challenge per game. So we don't interrupt the flow of play that much with it. 1st and 10, the ball at the Green Bay 31. Use your challenges wisely. That's to Bettis on a pass. That's a gain of 10 and a 1st down. Green Bay thinking they might want to challenge this spot of the ball, but I'm going to hang on to that. 1st and 10, ball to 21. We've got a 21-7 lead. To Brown, and that's to pick up a 15 before he's tackled by Herb Adderley. So a 1st and goal to 6. We have 4 minutes left in the half. Roethlisberger incomplete, looking for Antonio Brown. Roethlisberger 8 out of 16, 122 yards. Pittsburgh putting the ball up in the air quite frequently to try to counter Green Bay playing ball control and running the ball. 2nd and goal to 6. Touchdown, Antonio Brown. So Antonio Brown cuts it to 21-13, and here's your point after try. Good by Anderson, and it's 21-14 with 3:07 left. Here's Odom back deep for Green Bay. He'll return it. And we will watch him make progress to the 27, but that's going to come back. Dillon with an illegal block. It'll be 1st and 10 Green Bay at the 12. Taylor should be ready to resume play, and he is. So he will go in the game, and we'll go back to that old power sweep. Sweep to the left side, which has been working so well for for Green Bay. A gain of 3. Hampton hurt, one of the defensive tackles, and he's out for the game. So Ernie Stautner is going to come in. He's out of Boston College, 6'1", 230. Not known for his size, but known for his ferocity back when he played for the Steelers before their glory days. 2nd and 7. We'll go Anderson off tackle right. Close to the first. He picks up 5. And it'll be 3rd and 2. Back to Taylor. Sweep left. Pittsburgh knows it's coming, but can they stop it? They can this time. A gain of a yard. L.C. Greenwood on the stop. We'll go to the 2-minute warning. And it's 21-14 Green Bay. 4th down. Anderson now goes to punt formation. We'll see if Pittsburgh can get something going here. That was a punt into the wind of 35 yards. Woodson with a fair catch at the 44. And suddenly Pittsburgh in good field position with 1:55 left in the half. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Green Bay has 3. Screen to Hines Ward, who picks up 7. Going to be 2nd and 3. Pittsburgh, by the way, called their timeout. They have 1 left now. A throw to Miller. He gets out of bounds. It looks like he does. 8-yard gain. Now a 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 41. So they could tie this game before halftime. Incomplete. Looking for Johnson. 2nd and 10 at the 41. Marker down.
False start. Offense. Number 66.
Fenica
5-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
jumps off the line. So it's now a 2nd and 15 from the Green Bay 48 with a $1:36 on the clock. Roethlisberger, a screen looking for Brown, but that was incomplete. Adderley made contact with Brown, and the ball was lost somehow. 3rd and 15 at the 46 now. Here's your throw, looking for Brown, but Willie Wood provided good coverage for the Packers. And now a punt. Jimmy Orr back deep in punt formation. I'm going to watch for a fake here because I always think that area between the 50 and the 35, whenever there's a punt, you watch for a fake. So Green Bay gets it back, 1:17 left. I think they just want to keep grounding and pounding here. Off tackle right, Jim Taylor. If they get a big play, we'll change that strategy, but right now, Pittsburgh calls a timeout. But Green Bay could still run the clock out in the first half. Sweep left to Taylor. And Taylor, with running room, a gain of 19. And he's now at 128 yards rushing. He has a season high, and we're still not out of the first half yet. Clock stops with 1:02. He was able to get out of bounds. So now Green Bay can go into business. They'll go to Billy Houghton, medium out. And they have all 3 timeouts left. That's caught. Stepped out. Pushed out of bounds by Dudley after a gain of 18. So Pittsburgh giving up yardage here. Sweep left, Jim Taylor on 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 49. That's just back to the line and all. And Green Bay just doing a little heat check here on Pittsburgh, as they say in basketball, and they call a timeout. Number 1 for them. They still have 2 left, so that was expendable. They'll go back to a 3-wide set. They'll go to Sharp, medium slant. Use the middle of the field with the timeouts they have. And that's caught. Gain of 16. So Green Bay showing they are not one-dimensional as my phone starts ringing. And it's another junk phone call, and I get those a lot. We'll stop the clock with 40 seconds left, and now Green Bay down to its last timeout. Hudson medium out. Instead, it's a dump off to Taylor, who gains 8. And he got out of bounds to stop the clock with 34 seconds to go. How about a long pass to Hudson here on 2nd and 2 from the 25? Not caught. Hudson did put a hand on it, but he dropped it. 3rd and 2, 28 seconds to go. Back to the double tight end set and back to a sweep. This is Jim Taylor out of LSU. Oh, busted play it looked like. And a loss of 3. And Green Bay is going to use their last timeout and run the clock down to 3 seconds. And they will bring Longwell in to try a 45-yard field goal into the wind. Had about a 68% chance of making it. It's good. And we will go to halftime with your score, Green Bay 24 and Pittsburgh 14. So let's look at the stats as this second half begins. I apologize for the squeakiness of my chair, but I think if you've been watching these HTFL broadcasts that you're used to it by now. Pittsburgh, 172 yards of total offense, 28 plays, 22 of them have been passes. Roethlisberger's 11 out of 22, 143 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Green Bay, the opposite. They have 247 yards of total offense. They have run 38 plays. 28 of them have been rushes. Aaron Rodgers, 5 out of 10, 75 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. So Woodson back deep for Green Bay. Pittsburgh will have the wind advantage in the third quarter. Green Bay will have it in the fourth. A short kick out of bounds. Longwell with the boot out of bounds, and that gives Pittsburgh the ball at their own 40. So they only have 60 yards to go for a touchdown. First and 10. Roethlisberger looking for Antonio Brown, and it was broken up by Willie Wood. Second and 10, ball at the 40. Incomplete. Ward, the intended receiver there, but it was Hudson providing tight coverage. Remember that Hudson plays both wide out and corner for this Green Bay team. Third and 10 at the 40. Over the middle, and there's Antonio Brown. That's a gain of 12. And it was Adderley who made the stop, who would go on and play for the Dallas Cowboys after the heyday of Green Bay was over with. First and 10, ball at the 48. That is to Hines Ward, who picks up 16 yards. And it was Hudson who made the tackle. First and 10, the ball now at the Green Bay 32. So Pittsburgh having success throwing the ball, and that continues as Heath Miller, if I have called him Zach Miller before, I apologize. He's out of Virginia, and he just caught that for 8 yards. And we'll update his stats here momentarily. Second and 2 at the 24. Here's the pitch to Bettis. And Bettis with running room. He gains 8. Had 120 yards last week against Miami. And checking Miller's stats, he has 3 catches for 33 yards. First and 10 at the 16 now for Pittsburgh. To the sidelines to Johnson, a pickup of 6. Hudson shoves him out. Second and 4 at the 10. Bettis, gain of 1. Davis with the tackle. Now a third and 3. A critical play here for Pittsburgh. Incomplete. Looking for Heath Miller. And here's your field goal try by Gary Anderson. It's good, and it's 24-17 with 10:14 left in the third. Odom back deep for Green Bay. And it's going to be 4 yards deep in the end zone. That'll be a touch. Taylor, sweep right. And that was Green Bay playing a base formation where they had one tight end in the game and they had him over on the right side. We're going to trap it right to Taylor with the tight end over on the left, and that's a gain of 5. Now they go double tight end, and they will look for Anderson here on the dive. A little fullback dive, and he's got the first down, a gain of 2. So Green Bay sticking with their strategy of just trying to wear that vaunted Pittsburgh defense down. Sweep left Taylor on first and 10. And Taylor back to the line, and that's all. Taylor now, that was his 21st carry of the game, and he's got 137 yards. Back to Anderson, sweep left. And he has a little more success than Taylor did. A gain of 6. Mean Joe Green on the tackle. 3rd and 4. They'll go to a 3-wide set now, and they will go to Hudson on the short cross. Incomplete. It was off the hands of Hudson. We'll check the penalty. There is no penalty. Thought there would be one. And now Green Bay will have to punt. Anderson back deep in punt formation to Woodson. That's the plan anyway. And another short punt, and Woodson with a nice return. The punt went 37 yards, the return went 14, so it was a 23-yard net. Not good if you're a Packer fan. We have 6:15 left, third quarter. It's 24-17 Green Bay. 1st and 10 now at the Pittsburgh 40, which is where they started their last series. To Ward, that's a first down. Pickup of 11 yards. Ball placed at the Green Bay 49. 1st and 10 from there. Throw and a catch to Brown. That was a long hitch. It was good for 18. And it was Adderley on the stop for Green Bay. 1st and 10 at the 31. It's going to be a screen. It's going to go to Johnson. That's a whole lot of Johnson. 17-yard gain, and Willie Wood made the tackle. He says with a grin. 1st and 10, ball to 14. We have a marker down.
False start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
They get to Castro for a false start. Back them up 5. 1st and 15. The ball at the 19 of Green Bay. That's completed to Miller, Heath Miller, and that's good for 10. And then I'll cut the down and distance down a bit. 2nd and 5. Ball to 9. Check the marker.
Offense. Number 65, 10-yard penalty.
It was a gain of 4 as Roethlisberger threw to Bettis, but Nitschke brought him down. But there was a penalty before that against Jackson. 2nd and 15. The ball now at the 19 of Green Bay. Roethlisberger back. And it's another pick. Willie Wood. His first interception of the year, and he takes a knee, and Green Bay will start at the 20. So again, a Pittsburgh drive stymied, and that is Big Ben's second pick of the year, second pick of the game. We can check how many, we'll do it later, how many picks he had so far this season. No, let's do it now, since I brought it up. Look at the roster page, and here you see, Pittsburgh's got a crew of quarterbacks. They have Roethlisberger, Terry Bradshaw is the backup, Stewart is number 3, and O'Donnell probably is number 4. But we'll take a look at Ben Roethlisberger in this replay. He has thrown 3 interceptions and 5 touchdowns, and his passing rating so far this year has been 76. In fact, there you see. Actually, no, he has 5 interceptions because he threw 1 against Cleveland, 2 against Baltimore. So that doesn't count the 2 he threw today. So he's now up to 5 interceptions. So I'm sure the Pittsburgh Steeler Nation is going to want Terry Bradshaw in one of these days. Double tight end set for Green Bay. Sweep left, Jim Taylor. Since that play has been working so well, they're going to keep running it. It's a gain of 5. Donnie Shell on the tackle. We have 2:49 left. Off tackle right, Donnie Anderson. That's a pickup of 3. Ernie Stautner made that tackle. And it will now be 3rd and 2. Sweep left, Jim Taylor. This is a recording. And Taylor, first down, pickup of 5. We have 1:21 left in the third quarter. It's 24-17 Green Bay. On a clear night in upper Wisconsin. Sweep left, Jim Taylor. Keep running that play until they burn them. And a fumble picked up by Taylor. Taylor picked up his own fumble, and that was a gain of a yard. 2nd and 9. To Taylor again. Trap left. And Taylor with a first down. That's a pickup of 13. He is now at 148 yards on the day. I'm sorry, 161. That was before this play was recorded into the stats. So he's at 161, closing in on 200. He'll just need 39 in this fourth quarter that's coming up. The score right now, 24 for Green Bay, 17 for Pittsburgh. One last quarter left to go in week number 5 of the HTFL, and then starting Monday, we will get to work on week number 6. We have a whole bunch of divisional games for you this coming week. And we start with Buffalo and New England, who haven't played each other yet, and we'll play each other twice before the season is over with. Still in a double tight end set is Green Bay. They're going to run left, just a generic run left with Anderson. Anderson back to the line. Joe Green on the tackle. Green Bay has now run the ball 39 times to 11 throws. They have 50 plays and 291 yards. 279 for Pittsburgh. They have run 42 plays. 34 of them have been passes. So it's a game of contrasts right now. And here comes a throw to Hudson on 2nd and 10. It's going to be a slant. Incomplete.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty.
They get Gillingham for a hold. It'll be 2nd and 20. We'll go to Taylor. Sweep left. And even though Pittsburgh was in a quarter defense, it only goes for 3 yards. Mel Blanc came up and made the stop. Now it's 3rd and 17, and now Green Bay will have to throw. Going to be a long fly to Sherling Sharp. Incomplete, deflected by Woodson. That time Pittsburgh was playing a nickel. 5 defensive backs in the game. And Anderson will punt on 4th down, naturally. That's a sideline punt. Now they have the wind advantage, Green Bay does. It went out of bounds at the 15. We have 13:21 left to go, regulation time. Since this game, with a 7-point difference, could easily go overtime. Thank you, Tim Ryan. Did those games, NFL games on CBS and NBC for many years. In fact, he also did a few games for Fox when Fox was first getting started. I read his book not too long ago on Somebody Else's Nickel. Very good book. I recommend it to all of you. Just throw that in there. 1st and 10 at the 15. Tim Ryan and his horn-rimmed glasses. Gain of 1.
Holding. Offense. Number 66.
DeCastro called for holding. And it's 1st and goal to 7. Not 1st and goal, 1st and 18 at the 7. That's a incomplete pass to Stallworth. Tim Ryan's father was a executive for the Toronto Argonauts back in the early days of the CFL. So I didn't know that about him before I read the book. So I'll throw that little blurb in there. 2nd and 18, ball to 7. Big Ben having big troubles today. He's 19 out of 35. That completion gets him to 20 out of 36. That was to Heath Miller for a gain of 9. 3rd and 9, ball to 16. I also like Tim's work on boxing for CBS.
Unnecessary roughness.
Ooh, 15
Defense.
more.
Number 26. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
As Adderley roughed somebody up. We don't know who. But it was Sharper who brought Ward down after that gain of 12. And then you're going to tack 15 onto that. And the ball's going to be at the Pittsburgh 43. 1st and 10. Bettis gains 2 yards. Uncle Ron can have conversations about raisins and grapes. I can have conversations about Tim Ryan. 2nd and 8, ball to 45. Gain of a yard. Bettis with a dive play. And that's a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 7, ball to 46. Bettis loses 2. Hanner puts the hammer on him on a 3rd and 7 play. So that was kind of an odd call for Pittsburgh there. It'll be 4th and 9 or back to punt. Kind of pushed it to the right.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
And Hanner with the offsides, and that's going to be accepted. So it will now be 4th and 4. Had the punt stood, Wood would have returned it 8 yards after a punt of 41. But wipe that off the board, and we'll try it again. This to the left sideline. That's only a 27-yard punt. Not a good punt at all for Orr. But again, Pittsburgh does not have the wind advantage. Green Bay now does. And we have 9:52 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's 24-17 Green Bay. And back to the double tight end set goes Green Bay. Sweep it left with Jim Taylor using that power sweep. And Taylor with a huge chunk of yards. 40, 30, 20. Down to the sideline. And he's tackled at the 3. Polamalu finally got to him. And I believe Jim Taylor now has the HTFL record with a 237-yard running effort today. Obviously, he will get player of the game honors. And he has one touchdown already. Only fitting that we give it to him again and he can try to get a second on an inside run. Here's a dive play to Taylor. He's got it. Touchdown. And that brings him to 240 yards on the day. What a day for Jim Taylor. A point after try by Longwell. Good. 31-17. It's the Jim Taylor show today, folks, with 8:45 left in the fourth. So Pittsburgh has its work cut out for them, down 14. Here's the kickoff to Woodson, touchback. Pittsburgh bringing a speed package in. They got Le'Veon Bell coming in at running back, and Buddy Dio will come in as the fourth wide receiver. Set your receivers for you. Stallworth, Brown, Ward, and Buddy Dio will be another 84, which in the HTFL is possible. First and 10, the ball to 20. Marker before the play.
False start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Fenica, called for a false start. Now looking at a first and 15 from the 15. Incomplete, looking for Ward. A short end. And now Roethlisberger's 31 out of 28, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Second and 15. That is a screen to Bell, who picks up 8. Sharper on the tackle for Green Bay. That'll make it third and 7 at the 23. And confusion on the Pittsburgh offense. Roethlisberger has to call timeout. Third and 7 at 23. Now a penalty.
False start. Offense, number 66,
Fenica again.
5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Chuck Noll will give him an earful the next time he visits the Pittsburgh bench, I'm sure. Third and 12 now at the 18. Throw by Big Ben. That's caught by Brown. That's a gain of 16 and a first down. Saying the ball might have touched the ground. 8:03 left in the fourth quarter. I'm going to challenge this.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete. A timeout will be charged.
So that leaves Green Bay with 2 timeouts. Pittsburgh also has 2 for the remainder of the half. Should we go to overtime, each team will get 2 timeouts for the overtime quarter. First and 10 at the 34. Incomplete. Intended for Ward. We haven't had an overtime game in a little bit. I think we had an overtime game since Washington and Tampa Bay, but don't quote me on that. I know it was week 4 was the last time we had a overtime game. Second and 10 at the 34. That's a screen to Bell. I almost said Bettis. A gain of 16. Roethlisberger now over the 300-yard passing mark. A few more yards than Jim Taylor has running. First and 10 at midfield. 7:43 to go. This is going to be an end around to Brown, and Campen brought him down at the line of scrimmage. Now a second and 10 at midfield. Screen to Bell. Can Bell get the first? Yes, he can. A gain of 12. Ball moves to the 38 of Green Bay with 6:54 left to go. Under the primetime lights of Monday Night Football. Stallworth almost had that one. Hudson provided good coverage for the Packers. Second and 10. Ball at the 38. Marker down. Could be a hold.
Holding.
And it is.
Offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty.
They get John Kolb, for holding, and it will be second down and 20. I'll take the penalty. Ball at the 48. Stallworth over the middle gains 7. Stallworth now 2 catches, 24 yards. Brown has been the leading receiver for Pittsburgh, 8 catches, 115. 3rd and 13, ball at the 41. That is to Ward for a first down, and he picks up 15. Ellis on the stop, who is the nickelback. 1st and 10, ball 26. And that is to Bell, Levon Bell, a gain of 8. 2nd and 12, ball at the 18 now. To Bell on a dive, and that's no gain. 5:23 left now. 3rd and 2 at the 18. Another first down to Brown, and that gains 7. He has 9 catches, 122 yards now. 14th play of Pittsburgh's drive. They really need a touchdown on this, and they get it right there. Buddy Dial gets the touchdown, and now Pittsburgh within a score. Gary Anderson extra point, good. 31-24 with 4:41 left. Here's the kickoff to Odom, perhaps. It's going to be taken by one of the upbacks instead. He goes down the sideline, and that was Canadeo. Fumbled it, got it back. Dunn made the tackle finally at the 37 after a return of 30. Back to the double tight end set. Back to Jim Taylor. And we will run the sweep again, left side. And behind that line, why the hell not? No gain. Greenwood on the tackle. To Anderson on a screen, short pass. And there's going to be a marker down on that.
Grabbing the face mask.
Oh.
Defense. Number 59.
They get Jack Ham.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
For the blatant face mask. And that moves it to the Green Bay 41. You got 3:49 to go now left in the game. Back to Jim Taylor. Sweep left. A gain of 5. And Taylor now at 245 on the day. He's had quite the effort. He's 5 away from 250. In fact, let's try to get him that here. Off tackle right. Greenwood, L.C. Greenwood hurt on that last play. Jim Taylor at 251. 31 carries, 251 yards. He's got 8.1 yards a carry, and he's got 2 touchdowns. McPeak coming in to play defensive end in favor of Greenwood. And why wouldn't you just keep wearing the Steelers down here? Trap off tackle right, Jim Taylor. And that's another nice gain for Taylor and a first down, 14 yards. He's at 265. And he is just on a tear. Greenwood's coming back in the game. 2:38 left. Anderson, dive play.
False start. Offense. Number 81. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Okay, 1st and 15. We'll just give it to Taylor again. What the heck? Sweep left. And Taylor, 7 more. He's at 272 on the day. Pittsburgh is now out of timeouts. Pittsburgh now looking at a full house formation out of Green Bay. Green, dive play. And nothing there for him. Ahmad Green with his first carry of the game. It'll be 3rd and 9 as we go to the 2-minute warning. 31-24, Green Bay. Back to Taylor, who will sweep it right in the full house. No Aunt Becky jokes, please. A gain of a yard by Taylor. And that's 273 now on 34 carries for him. And Green Bay will milk the clock all the way down to $1:15, and then they call the timeout. They bring Longwell on. He will try a field goal of 31 yards. He's got about an 80% chance of making it. It's good. And it puts Green Bay up 10, 34-24, with a minute 10 to go. To Woodson on the kickoff. It'll be a long one, and that's going to be a touchback. So Pittsburgh's got to scramble down the field and get something in these last 70 seconds of the game. If it ends here, 1st and 10, ball to 20. That was me hitting the CPU button a little too much.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the
defense.
passer.
Number 87, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Willie Davis introduces himself to Big Ben a little too rudely, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 35. The main enemy for Pittsburgh right now is time, and they don't get time back on these penalties. 1 minute to go. Screen. And I believe that is to Brown, who gains 1. His 10th carry of the 10th catch of the day, 123 yards. 2nd and 9 at the 36. We have 51 seconds left. Deflected by Willie Wood, looking for Stallworth was Big Ben. 3rd and 9. Ball now at the 36 still. Roethlisberger looks incomplete, looking for Stallworth on the left sideline. Willie Wood popped it up. Ball game for Pittsburgh right here, 4th and 9. They look for Stallworth on the sideline. It's incomplete. 30 seconds to go. Rodgers will take a knee, and that's your game. They'll credit Stotner with the tackle, but Rodgers' knee was down long before Stotner got to him. And that's your game, folks. 34-24. Green Bay over Pittsburgh. Gotta think Jim Taylor will be the MVP. He had 34 rushes, 273 yards. His longest carry was 73 yards in the fourth quarter after he had had several carries. Antonio Brown probably had the best game for Pittsburgh with 123 yards receiving. Even game, 810 yards of total offense. Green Bay was perfect, nearly perfect in the red zone. They were 5 out of 6, 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Pittsburgh went 4 out of 6, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Despite all the running, Green Bay did not dominate time of possession. They had it for 32:01 out of the 60 minutes. 23 penalties in the game, so that was a little sloppy. I always look at the play differentials, like the play is called. Pittsburgh ran 66 plays, 53 of them were passes. Green Bay ran 63 plays, and 50 of them were rushes. First downs were about even, 24-23. And your quick look at the scoring. Even in the first quarter, both teams getting scores, and then Green Bay took over. Taylor scored, Horning scored, and Taylor scored again. And 34-24 will be your final. Green Bay goes to 4-1. We'll take a look at the standings. In the upper north, they are going to be behind Minnesota on a tiebreaker. And both Minnesota and Green Bay are going to be 3 games clear of Chicago and Detroit. In the lower north, which is important because you take the upper north and the lower north, and that's your northern conference. Cleveland is 4-1. And Cincinnati and Baltimore are tied. Cincinnati, I believe, holds the tiebreaker. So Cincinnati would, if the season ended now, they would get that last playoff spot over Baltimore. And Pittsburgh now 2 behind at 2 and 3. So taking a brief look at some statistical leaders after Week 5, Jim Brown leading the way at 590 yards. A.J. Green has 5 rushing touchdowns. Jim Brown has 10. A.J. Green has 5 catching touchdowns. Jim Brown has 10 rushing touchdowns. Donovan McNabb with a 120.3 average passing rating. A.J. Green, 26 receptions leading the league. Drew Brees out of New Orleans, has the most passing yards by 17 over Ken Anderson. Wes Chandler leading the way in receiving yards, 500. Kenny Anderson has thrown 13 touchdowns, as has Eli Manning and Drew Brees. Mike Haynes and Larry Wilson with 3 interceptions. They lead the way. We have a whole bunch of players forcing 3 fumbles. I don't even know that's the whole list. Dick Anderson, Nagata of Baltimore, Joe Johnson of New Orleans, Dave Waymer of New Orleans, and J.J. Watt. I'm sure there may be others. Andre Tippett, Ted Hendricks, and Khalil Mack with 4 sacks each. Cameron Hayward leading the way with 10 hurries. Levante David of Tampa Bay, the 0-5 Buccaneers, they have 59. He has 59 tackles. He's leading the way on that. Deflections, Lawyer Malloy for Pittsburgh with not Pittsburgh, New Orleans with 11. Stuffs, Aaron Donald has 8 for LA, and Hedrick of we have a whole bunch of players with 1 touchdown. I don't know what they mean by touchdown. Interceptions for touchdowns, defensive touchdowns. I do not know what they mean. Dante Hall, the leading kick return average, 32-2 for Kansas City. Longest kick return was Amos Marah of Baltimore, 80 yards. Punt return average, Eric Metcalf, 14.6. His longest punt return was 62 yards. That easily leads the league so far, the longest punt return we've had so far. Thomas Morstead of New Orleans with a 46.3 average. The longest punt so far was Brian Mormon of Buffalo with a 58-yarder. Field goals, Gary Anderson of Pittsburgh, a 91% clip. Longest field goal we've had so far this year, Morton Anderson of New Orleans with a 56-yarder. And that's pretty much a look at the stats as we head into week number 6. And our first 3 games will be New England at Buffalo, Miami at Washington. Washington is the only team left undefeated. We have Arizona and Tampa Bay, both not having won a game yet, but we hope that changes. And Tennessee traveling to Atlanta, and that'll be our first unplugged game of the week. And looks like we will have one more at least. Yeah, we'll just have those 2 games. It'll be Tennessee, Atlanta, Tampa Bay at Houston will be the unplugged games this week. Then week 7, we have more interconference action, and then week 8's a very short week, 3 games. I guess that'll be the week of the Hometown Baseball League playoffs, which I'm not doing. But anyway, again, your final was 34-24, Pittsburgh over Green Bay. Hope you enjoyed week number 5, and next week we get to start week number 6. We'll do some other projects Saturday and Sunday as I record this on August 7th, 2020. We wish you well, wherever you are, or whenever you see this, whether it's tonight, August 7th, or sometime in the future after I'm long and gone. God bless, Godspeed, stay safe in this coronavirus that I hope ends sometime soon for everybody in the world. And bye-bye for now, everybody.